Hi, everyone at BlockTempo. I'm Roger Ver. I'm the CEO of Bitcoin.com, and I was the first person in the world to start investing in the blockchain ecosystem. So when I was a young man, I used to study economics and specifically the origin of money and how something comes to be used as money. And when I heard about Bitcoin for the first time, I knew it had characteristics that people would just naturally start to use it as money. So my first step was to buy some Bitcoin, and my next step was to start investing in all the different businesses to make it easier for people to start using it as money. And here we are today, and it became a worldwide phenomenon. So Bitcoin Cash has all of the same economic characteristics that made Bitcoin popular to begin with. The thing that everybody's calling Bitcoin today, the BTC version, no longer has those characteristics that made Bitcoin popular to begin with. So I think at some point in the future, we're going to see more and more of the market share using Bitcoin Cash for payments than using Bitcoin Core for payments. And that's because Bitcoin Cash transactions are fast, cheap, and reliable, whereas Bitcoin Core transactions are slow, expensive, and unreliable. And you don't have to be, an economics whiz to figure out that people prefer fast, cheap, and reliable to slow, expensive, and unreliable. And so that's why myself and everybody at Bitcoin.com are busy building tools on top of Bitcoin Cash to enable anyone, anywhere in the world to send and receive money with anyone else, anywhere in the world. And it's really exciting to do that. So I'm still promoting the exact same version of Bitcoin that I started promoting back in 2011. The only difference is that today that version of Bitcoin is called Bitcoin Cash. And the thing that everybody's calling Bitcoin today is no longer that same Bitcoin I started promoting in 2011. Digital currencies allow anyone, anywhere in the world to send and receive any amount of money with anyone, anywhere in the world. And that makes it easier for people to buy and sell anything, to start businesses, to engage in trade. And that makes more economic freedom for everybody. And the more economic freedom people have, the faster the rate of economic growth, and the more money they'll have, and the more they'll be able to afford, healthcare for their friends and family and their children, and food to eat and houses to live in. So everybody's lives become better off. So I'm a fan of anything that works as peer-to-peer electronic cash. And the cryptocurrency that has one of the biggest network effects and the most passionate users and the biggest user bases is Bitcoin Cash. But I don't like Bitcoin Cash because it's named Bitcoin Cash. I like it because it works. The transactions are fast, cheap, and reliable, and I'm a fan of anything that works. If something's useful, people are going to use it, and I'm excited to use these tools to bring more economic freedom to the world. So I think a lot of people get confused and they think that decentralization is the goal, but decentralization is not the goal. Decentralization is just the tool that we use to achieve censorship resistance. And if you have enough decentralization where nobody can block your payment from being sent or received with anybody else, then that's enough. So you don't have to have this perfectly decentralized everything. You just need enough of it to enable you to do what you want with your own cryptocurrency. And if anything, I think more people using a particular cryptocurrency, that adds to the decentralization, to the protectiveness that it has against governments coming in and trying to make it illegal. If you have 1 million people across the world using a cryptocurrency, it's much easier to ban than a cryptocurrency that has 1 billion people using it across the world. So my goal is to get as many people using digital currencies as quickly as I possibly can. So if everybody's using it to buy everything all the time, it'll be too late for governments to try and ban it or do bad things to it. Sure. So in the English-speaking BTC community, on the main, most popular discussion platforms, they will literally delete anybody's post that says anything that's not along the lines of the party narrative. So if Bitcoin's supposed to be censorship-resistant money, how can this community be engaging in massive censorship that's been going on for years now, attacking anybody that actually wants Bitcoin to be a peer-to-peer electronic cash? So I think the whole thing is just hypocritical. Bitcoin's peer-to-peer electronic cash, and it's supposed to be censorship-resistant electronic cash, yet they're engaging in massive censorship, claiming that they're doing the censorship to protect its ability to be censorship-resistant money. It's just crazy. And I guess I'd like to point out that there's no There's no ethical way of doing unethical things, and that's exactly what they're doing. They're doing a bunch of unethical things, trying to claim that they're doing it for an ethical goal, and you can't. It's not possible. And the censorship in the Bitcoin BTC community really needs to come to an end. So any smart investor has a wide variety of investments, so you don't put all of your eggs in one basket. And for your cryptocurrencies, you shouldn't hold 100% of one particular cryptocurrency. You should have a nice, well-rounded portfolio of the cryptocurrencies that you think have the best potential to be used by the most number of people. And while BTC isn't particularly useful in commerce at this point, and in fact, I just did a demonstration for a major company here in Taiwan a few minutes ago, and there were 4 people. I sent them some Bitcoin Cash, and they sent it right on down the line, and they had the exact same amount of Bitcoin Cash at the end of the line. I sent $10 worth of BTC, and by the time it got 4 people deep, there was only $5 left of it because the fees were so high. That's not useful for commerce, but what BTC still has going for it is this: it has the name Bitcoin, even though it doesn't have the same economic characteristics that made Bitcoin popular to begin with, but the man on the street has heard of it, and that network effect shouldn't be underestimated. So I still hold a nice basket of a bunch of different cryptocurrencies. I wish the BSV camp good luck with their project. I wish the BSV camp bad luck with their lawsuits. If people have disagreements, I think more free speech is the answer, not a bunch of stupid lawsuits. And the fact that many members of the BSV camp are busy suing open source software developers that are working on Bitcoin Cash really is a sign that philosophically their head is not in the right spot. So I'm very interested in Bitcoin Cash being peer-to-peer cash for the world. BSV, I don't know what they're trying to do. I wish them good luck with everything except for their lawsuits. I don't know much about BSV at all, and I'm not a fan or a user, but I think that the BSV community is more than just Craig Wright or more than just Calvin Ayre. And just because Craig Wright is a total jerk, I don't really think that's a good reason to delist BSV. But at the end of the day, the owners of the exchanges can do what they want with their exchanges and trade what they want. But to me, that didn't seem to be a very good reason. Just because one guy that likes one cryptocurrency is a jerk, that doesn't seem to be the right reason. And Craig Wright is a jerk, to be fair, but there's people more than Craig Wright that like BSV. And I want to set you up with a Bitcoin Cash wallet. Everybody in this room that doesn't have, you guys have one already or not yet? Pull out your phones and install the Bitcoin.com wallet. So